The long-awaited Spark Tank. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome on stage an all-star team. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of Charity.com, Shay Chervinsky. Thank you for joining us. Please welcome, come on stage, Rabbi Boruch Ber Bender, the founder and CEO of Achiezer, Rabbi Zalman Katz, Bnei Olam, Chief Development Officer at Bnei Olam, Rabbi Zalman Katz, Captain Eli Rowe, founder and president of Hatzalah Air. Please welcome, come on stage. And last but certainly not least, Shlome Steinmetz from Pivot, founder and CEO of Pivot. We are excited to have this segment here. And get ready for some cash to fly. Cash will be flying in this segment.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, our esteemed judges. So I just want to give some of the house rules. First of all, Rivka, if you're here, if you could come to the front. Here, yeah, just here to work with Yitz. So the way it's going to work is we have 4 amazing organizations that are going to be presenting their cause, their case to the judges. Each one of the organizations are amazing, and they do amazing work, and that's why they were picked as finalists to present at the Shark Tank. What's going to happen is they're going to give their presentation. It's going to be a 5-minute presentation. It's then going to be followed by questions and answers by the esteemed judges. Each organization is going to have their turn. When it's done, I'm going to announce a link that you'll all be able to go to as the audience. The audience will be the 6th judge. So you two will be able to judge, and the average, the collective score that the audience gives will be a 6 score, and then together with the judges, we'll be able to announce the winners based on the point system. You'll see once I announce it, you could rate 3 things that are going to be judged. Number 1, the cause itself, the impact that the cause has on the world, how you feel that the organization fears in terms of the cause and the impact it makes on the world. That's number 1. Number 2, the number 1 prize is going to be $20,000. The second is $10,000. The third is a free campaign for charity, which might actually be more valuable than prize number 2 because it's up to $20,000 in value. And there is no 4th prize, but there will be a raffle for everybody that participated and submitted. So the second thing to judge, the second category is on the impact that the $20,000 will enable the organization to do better, to do good. Then the third category is, of course, the presentation. I will say not even one organization had a lot of time to prepare, as we announced it publicly on the 10th, which was Erev Shavuos, Friday, Shabbos, Sunday, and today. So there was not a lot of time to prepare, but yet they did an amazing job with their presentation. The 4 amazing organizations, you will hear all about them. We're going to start with organization number 1. It is Favor It. That is the name of the organization, Favor It. If your Shlome leader could come up to begin the presentation. The next organizations in order will be Helping Hands Food Co-op of Florida. That's number 2. Number 3 is going to be Renewal of Life. And number 4, Friendship Circle of Wisconsin. So, Favor It, Shlome leader, take it away.
Hello, Shalom Aleichem. My name is Yisroel Leader. I'm from Lakewood, New Jersey. I'm not in the nonprofit sphere at all. I sell on Amazon. I'm not involved with all the chashuv organizations we have out here. I came up with the idea just to introduce my organization. You see people taking rides all day long with Uber, with your local car service. There's no reason why Klal Yisrael can't have a system where everyone could have free rides, free package delivery. So we created a platform, an app, to do chesed for ride sharing and package delivery. We launched a few months ago. It was a beta testing. We were very successful. A little overwhelming with the responses we got, but it's opportunity for anyone. You're a regular person. You know, you might not be on chaverim, shomrim. You don't know how to change a tire, but everyone drives a car. They have a few empty seats in the back. They could bring a package, a person. So we created this app, Favorite, and so far it's doing good. We're about to launch our second version. We had a bunch of feedback, complaints, of course, and we're about to launch our next version. And so we're here for more funding. So till now we've self-funded it, and Baruch Hashem, it's self-explanatory. It's easy to use. If we have the thing over here, I could show you some frames on the app. So over here you have, it's easy, either get a ride, send the package, you type in your address, where you are, where you're headed, you post the ride, send the request, you type in male, female if you want to keep it separate, and there's sending a package, you upload a picture of what package you want to send, and you're in the queue over there, you're waiting for someone to pick it up, so they get notifications, and it's pretty simple, regular app. It's almost like an Uber app, it's just Uber has a separate app for drivers and passengers. Here we have one app where you could be a driver or a passenger, all in one.
Amazing. Thank you.
Shkoyach, thank you so much. You could have a seat, but in the front. We're going to ask the judges to discuss, ask questions, give thoughts. We'll start with Shlome all the way on that side with your comments.
Thank you. Very impressive, by the way. Amazon Business opens this up. A great name, Favorite. I love it. Whose credit is it? Very nice. Shout out to VP Graphics. Few questions. First of all, you mentioned that you want to take it to the next level. I'm wondering what the $20,000 would be for and how it will help accelerate.
Yeah, so we had a few more ideas in the. Now we're focusing on packages and rides, but there's other. Since it's location-based, it's geo-fencing, so there's other things you can use it for. If you want to borrow an item from a close-by neighbor, you need a minion. There's other applications we could use it for. And even we have different ideas on the roadmap to integrate it maybe with Waze, and as you're going on Waze, you can pick up a chesed on the way. There's different.
So what will the $20,000 be? Like, I give you $20,000 today. What do you do with it?
It's for developing further. We already have like scoped out version. We're hoping to roll out version 2 in the next couple of weeks, and we already have like scoped out version 3, version 4, and it costs money for marketing and for development. That's what it's going to go towards.
Marketing is smart. But question to you. You said you were in beta?
Beta testing, yeah.
Yeah, so what results do you have? Like how many people downloaded it? And
So we had a lot of, close to 10,000 downloads. We have about 2,000 actual users. We wanted to be a safe platform, so we made it that in order to open an account, you have to upload your photo ID and put in your rabbi's name and his phone number. So a lot of people everyone liked the idea of Chesed app. They downloaded the app, but then they're like, oh, wait a second, I'm not sure if I want to stick in my photo ID.
Is that not a concern, like security issues?
What?
Is that not a concern, like people signing up for the app and random people taking rides?
No, that's why. We want it to be secure.
Do
If we
you
have the
verify
photo ID,
everyone?
we haven't really called up the rabbis, but we checked the photo ID. We definitely had some Einam Yehudim, let's say, who tried to sign up, and we had to block them.
Very nice, very impressive.
Zalman.
First of all, I want to say congratulations. It's a good idea. I personally live in Linden, New Jersey, and we opened up similar ideas. We did it on GroupMe, where everybody signs up and you take, could be packages or even rides from Borough Park to Linden or from Linden to Borough Park, whatever it is. I actually work out of Lakewood and I travel a lot, every day, basically. And I always have people ask me, can you take something? Can you bring something? My concern always, my hesitation actually is, Lakewood is very big. And I work off the 70. For me to go into Lakewood, to the old Lakewood, is talking about a half an hour or more. So this idea, like I said, congratulations, a very good idea. I just want to elaborate a little on what Shlome asked. You're working on phase 2, phase 3, right? What do you want to improve with that?
Let's say phase 2, we're also putting out a web app. So for those who don't have smartphones, at least if they have home computers or laptops. And eventually we also want to do, let's say, a calling, texting system for, the Hamoinam who don't have smartphones or computers. We'll make it easier. Also more like GPS tracking. You see when your driver is coming, like more, closer to Uber, how Uber has it.
Okay, what's your budget till now? How much did this organization, if we can call it an organization?
We spent about $60,000 so far.
And what's the expected, what is it going to cost you to bring it to the full organization that you want it to be? Like Shlome's willing to give you $20,000 and we're all going to judge on that. He offered it right away, like, here you go, but. No, it's separate. I think it's private. Maybe if he brings his marketing to you, we can talk about it. Okay, that'll be off the record. All right. So what is that 20 going to do?
It's a pro bono. So
It will definitely get us to the next phase or two.
It'll bring you to the next phase for sure,
Yeah.
even to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as we grow, hopefully it becomes, a global thing. The app works anywhere in the world. You
Is
just
there
have to have-
opportunity for advertisement for companies so you can sustain yourself?
Yeah, eventually we have that. Yeah, advertisements, or we even had when we posted on LinkedIn, there was a guy who reached out to us from like a big gated community. They wanted to white label it for their gated community. So there's different. Now we're more focused on just getting it out there, expanding the user base. But there's down the road, there's definitely ways to monetize it.
Okay, geweldig, atzlochem.
Shay.
okay. First of all, amazing. Congratulations. The only thing that I want to ask, have more clarity, seems like it's between a non-profit organization and like a tech company that invited a nice app.
Yeah, it's definitely a new concept. Most tech startups are not nonprofits, so we have to navigate in between. Yeah.
So what do you want to be in the end?
It's to help Klal Yisrael. So
It's a non-for-profit?
It's a nonprofit, yeah.
Huh?
So
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So first of all, everybody has started their talk saying thank you. I do want to say that everybody here should be standing and applauding you, because you can't go anywhere else. There's a lot of conferences going on today across the country. And I promise you, out of the 200 conferences going on right now across the country and in many hotels, there's not one conference in one room where there's a couple hundred people in a room and there's somebody getting up there saying, we want to be able to help strangers and give people rides and pick people up like Waze. We're trying to avoid traffic potholes on the way here, right? Is there an accent? Is there a radar detector? Is there a cop? And here, Am Yisrael, what are we doing? We're looking for things along the way. We're looking for detours. We're looking to help. So I think it's amazing to see that this entire conference, that all the people are trying to do, amazing. I have one quick question. I'm not going to put you on the coals here. You know, this poor guy comes with a nice idea. He's getting killed over here. But the only thing I would ask is the practical part of me. I think it was touched upon by my fellow judges and I'm sure you have this in mind, is the safety practical applications, because we all like to think that everybody here and everybody outside are all amazing, good-hearted, beautiful people, and 99% of us, Baruch Hashem, are. But it's a little bit of a crazy world. So do you have a proper plan in place that if somebody is paired up with somebody, yes, they may put a picture of a Rav, of somebody, they could put Curious George in the circle for the picture. I don't know. How are you going to make sure that if someone gets in the car with somebody else, is there enough due diligence that could be done that you can vet these people? Because it's a big achrayus to put somebody in somebody else's car.
Yeah, it's a very good question. There's no full solution, but the first thing is that we have their photo ID. That we spoke to some professionals, and they said if you're able to track the person down, you have his photo ID, you have his information, it stops them 90% of the time from doing anything bad. Obviously, we don't want anything to happen. We're hoping davening, but we try to get even insurance. It's hard to underwrite such a thing. They never heard of such a concept because most business they usually go by revenue. So there's no revenue over here, so they're not sure how. We couldn't get it underwritten. We're still working on it. But yeah, it's definitely as we go, we're trying to.
You're good. Your answer. Don't worry about it. It's beautiful. You'll get the last 10%.
Eli Rowe.
Yeah, so I share the sentiments of my esteemed colleagues over here in applauding you on your chesed project. But I didn't hear a sustainability model. So we fund you, we give you $20,000, let's say, for now, and you get to the next level. Does Favorite have a sustainability model where you'd be able to keep whoever the people that are managing the project alive, as well as you say till the second or the third iteration, but ultimately as soon as you get there, you'll discover the fourth and the fifth very quickly in sight. What is the sustainability model?
We always have charity, but so as of now, we were self-funding. We weren't looking around for any monetary help. If we need it, it's a chesed organization. So there's definitely nice people out there who are willing to chip in and help. But for now, the budget's low, and we're able to
so the
fund it
sustainability
ourselves.
model, which works, I mean, in Hatzalah we have it as well, is the siyata d'shmaya aspect. It'll come. You need it, you build it, it'll come. Okay. Second thing, which really focused a little bit on Baruch Ber, hit it, is there somebody that's tracking these packages and tracking the cars and making sure that something doesn't go wrong, because the second that happens, the model can fall off the cliff. Is that part of your...
Yeah. We have a back end. We're able to see all the packages coming and going. Obviously, if someone does something wrong, we'll see it also, but it happens. We're trying to stop it before it happens. But yeah, we have everything tracked on the back end.
And finally, on a selfish note, you have a lot of planes that we could send for free flights.
Yeah, we're going to get there. Soon we're going to be at the...
All right, thank you very, very much on behalf of the judges.
All right. Thank you so much, Yisrael Mayor. The judges will get a chance later to ask more questions if more things come up, but we're going to move on to our next contestant, Yasher Koyach. That was a lot of fun. We have Reuven Glucksman with Helping Hands Food, a kosher co-op in Miami, Florida. Come up and display your case to the judges. Very much looking forward, considering I live in Florida.
Can you guys see the screen? Because I have a video.
Yes, we could probably turn the screen.
So just before we start the video, I'll just give a brief description. So basically, we're an online, non-for-profit food distribution. It's called the Helping Hands Food Co-op. We give families the dignity to pay for their food a fraction above our cost, which is basically 20 to 40% cheaper than the stores. We try to minimize the shame so a person doesn't feel like a charity case. They're able to pay for their food. And people that can't afford that, everybody has an account, everyone is still a customer, will put a credit in their account. It could be $100, it could be $1,000 a month, it could be $2,000 a month, depending on their need. So everyone feels like a customer. Last year alone, we gave out $300,000 worth of food credit. So again, they all feel like, thank you. They all feel like a customer, and we'll see a short video.
The Kosher Co-op is one of the most amazing things we have here in Miami Beach. Its very essence says something about who we are as a community, that we take care of everybody, and no man is left behind, so to speak. All the Jews are one family, and we care about each other.
Miami Kosher Co-op was started in 2009 by the last recession when people were having a hard time putting food on their table.
In these desperate times, we decided that we're going to start a low-cost option where people could buy food at cost.
That Pesach, we planned on doing around 100, 150 families just by pooling resources. We ended up helping over 200 people that year.
The co-op helps support and feed over 500 families from West Palm Beach down on a weekly basis for Shabbos, for groceries, for Pesach, enabling them to come with honor. No one knows who is needy, no one knows who isn't, and choose their food, high quality foods, and have a sense of self-respect. It's the greatest, highest form of tzedakah, I believe.
I know multiple families who have, open door policies for Shabbos meals, and they can order from the co-op and make this so much more affordable and possible to host and to have guests. And I think that that's a beautiful thing.
There's no feeling of being in need of getting a handout. People get to shop, people get to choose what they need, people get to pay for the cost of their food. They don't have to pay for our profit, they don't have to pay for our overhead, they don't have to pay for anything else. We raise the money to cover that. They pay the basics, what they need. Bottom line is, people get to feel like they're paying their own way. People are not charity cases.
Come watch them in action. Come watch Help Against Co-op. The interaction with the community, the covet that each person is afforded, and what a Kiddush Hashem.
The Miami Kosher Co-op is a safety net. They were there really telling people not to worry, we have your back with Shabbos food, with Yom Tov food, with daily groceries. I mean, at the end of the day, you're only as strong as your institution. So Jewish community can only be as good as the institutions in their city, the yeshivas, the schools, the chesed organizations. And this is far none a top-notch chesed organization, and it rivals no other organization in the country or in the world in what they're able to bring to a community. They deserve all the credit in the world.
Thank you. So I just want to give an update, actually. We made that video 2 years ago, and since then we outgrew the yeshiva where it started in Miami Beach. It used to start just in the dining room, and then in the lobby, and for Pesach we rent freezers outside, and it got too much, and we rented a warehouse about a year ago, 10,000 square feet, and for Pesach alone we distribute to 600 families, which is over about 5,000 people in Florida, from Miami Beach all the way up to Boca, and now we've actually started doing Orlando and Tampa, and weekly about 75 families. Can we get the slides up to show some of the stats? Okay, so now weekly we're delivering. We just got a van about a year ago, and we're delivering to Miami Beach, North Miami Beach, Bell Harbor, Boca, Tampa, Orlando, and Surfside. And it just keeps growing with the need. Even over COVID, the thing with our organization is we're not just helping the aniyim. We're helping people that are struggling in between. Medicaid, for example, helps people on the lower end. And once you make $2 too much, you're done. They drop you off Medicaid, and for some people that could be $2,000 a month that they're losing. So you really have to double, triple your salary just to get on top. So the co-op helps based on the need of the individual, and we help people get on their feet no matter where they are in the financial spectrum. Here's a sample. Everybody gets a statement like this, and these ones are special because this shows the credit of individuals that get help. So when everyone will get a statement, this is just showing this one right here. We gave this person $6,900 over the year, and it shows what they get yearly. This is a single mother with medical issues and financial hardships. So we have over $300,000 worth of statements just like this of people that got credit. So what we would do with $20,000 grant. The past year was hard because of different things going on, especially with Israel. We lost a lot of our regular donors to they're helping Israel. And normally I try to go for $50,000 on top of the previous year for Pesach, and this year we didn't make that. We raised what we did last year, but that was I still pushed it a lot, and a lot of siyata d'shmaya, and even with even more new donors. So there are still people that are coming to us asking for help for those credits, and we haven't been able to give everybody that's asking. So what are we going to do with these $20,000? Number one, we have about 20 families a month that we give credit to. We'll give to them to the next 2 months until our next campaign. And we're growing every year. We hired grant writers. So it'll go towards paying the next month of grant writing, which will be until the next campaign. And we hired 2 new grant writers, and they're aiming to get hopefully $300,000 in grants by January. It's a little push, but it'll be about $1 million in asks. So like I said, it's going to go to families, actual families that need the help, and to the grants, which will create a much greater impact. Within the next year or two, we hope to turn the 650 families for Pesach to 800, and we hope to turn the 75 weekly families to 200, also by getting a new truck. Right now, the van we have makes it to Orlando, and then it has to come back. If we get a bigger truck, we can go Orlando and Tampa in the same run.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, round of applause. We're going to start with Eli this time, and let's try to keep it real quick. Go ahead.
So I'm blown away, not so much at what you do, because everybody's heard of Tomchei Shabbos and others, but at the way you start off by talking about the sensitivity to the community and the people, and for that, I pledge an extra $10,000 above everything else.
Thank you.
My question to you is, have you thought of taking this model outside of your immediate area, or is that something that you're looking just to keep where you are? And if so, who in the community are the ones that decide who gets it? Do you work with all the local rabbanim, with the school principals, with the teachers, etc., or do they have to come to you?
Where's Rabbi Masri? Right here. This is one local rabbi. He's a rabbi, I think, very near to you. Rabbi in Surfside. We work very closely with the individual rabbis in the communities. He'll tell you that they tell us the need. So for the regular customer, it doesn't hurt who orders. In fact, some donors will come say, I want to order, your meat's a little cheaper, your wine, is it okay? So yes, but give $100 of your Meiser monthly and you can order. The question is that credit. Who's getting that credit? That's the donation money. So that we have my boss, Rabbi Greenberg, who was on the video. He'll meet individually with the families, or it's done through local rabbis like Rabbi Yair.
Thank you, Rabbi Masri. Wow, Yashikaya. Another question?
And with the expansion, we're first just trying to stay afloat where we are, and then definitely we have a lot of ideas for expansion.
Boruch Bender.
So a quick comment and a quick question. We have a saying at Achiezer, is that when people are reaching out for chesed, they're reaching out for help, they will take the help however we give it. but certainly it is our achrayus to give that help on a silver platter. And what you're doing is certainly exactly that. You're going above and beyond and taking their dignity before all else, which is amazing. My only question, and I don't know, it could be it's part of the plans, is that, like Eli said, certainly you've taken it to a new level, and you made it the ability to give people in a beautiful way. But I think, and to the point of what the Rav just said, which is beautiful, is there a plan, if you have a family, let's say, that's on this program for 6 months or a year or more, is there a plan to help them become self-sustained? Only because if, let's say, you do run out of funding one day, and then you have this husband that now cannot come home, is there a plan to help them get back on their feet? Only because organizations, we all struggle sometimes, and that would be a concern to me, that they're getting so used to it, and then one day we can't give it. Is there something there that you're hopefully going to roll out to help make sure there's an end to them leaning on this, as beautiful as it is?
Is anyone aware of the Chicago Chesed Fund, Away First in Chicago? So it's an unbelievable organization. My wife is from there, and I really model what we try to do after what they do. And first, we're just trying to get on top of the food situation. And after that, I would like to add, there used to be an organization in Miami, not anymore, that helps people with resumes and finding jobs and job fairs, things like that. So that is definitely one of the things I want to add to the organization. Absolutely.
Thank you. Shay, any questions?
Okay, so I don't think I have any question. I just want to, again, thank you for this amazing organization. I think the most important thing that you mentioned, that in the end, when a family, are coming into a place that they need to ask, right? This is the most important and hard thing for them, of mentioning a silver platter or whatever it is, that you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. And much more than that, actually, is to catch them a minute before they fall. Because, when somebody, need to ask for help or whatever it is, and like the rabbi mentioned there, that he can text you or call you or whatever it is, and you can help them a minute before, and even the kids and the wife doesn't even know that the husband need the extra $1,000 or $2,000 to survive. It's amazing. So I want to bless you. I actually like the community thing, and we don't always need to think globally and nationally, whatever it is. Staying in our area, it's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay. Zalman. I don't have much to add, because I think everybody asked the right questions. I just have one quick question. From the 2 years, 3 years you're doing it, did you see people that were on the program that went off the program, or is it only people continuous coming onto the program?
We saw somebody start off the program, a donor, came on the program. The rabbi called and said, I'm just curious, is everything okay? He said, actually, I'm having a little hard time with my business. No problem. Gave him some credit. He helped him for a year. A year later, he was a donor again.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. At that note, I would like, and I hope to the B'nai Shalom that your program should close. You should stay with the job fairs
Amen.
and all the connections, and this should be from the past.
Thank you.
Shkoyach, Reb Shloime.
So I think my fellow judges here, they asked all the questions. I have nothing to ask. Just curious, how do you do fundraising until now?
So I actually, it's a branch of the yeshiva. So I only started with them full-time a year and a half ago. I used to fundraise for the yeshiva, and then they asked me to help out Pesach time, and it grew. I started with, just calling people, and then we started doing online campaigns, and I go around meeting with people. Finally, now we're able to start getting grant writing, so hopefully that will take us to the next level.
Amazing.
Can I add one thing short?
One last thing.
One last
10
thing.
seconds.
We also have a interest-free loan gemach. We know that's even a bigger mitzvah in halacha than giving money. So far, we've circulated over $2 million in 0% loans.
Yes,
I will point out that there is actively, right now I met 2 weeks ago with a group of very serious Balabatim to open a very similar concept in one of the neighborhoods in New York, minus the credits that you give. Basically, cost price on everything. So hopefully, we'll talk.
Sounds good.
Yasher Koyach. Thank you so much, Reuven.
Thank you.
We're going to move now on to Renewal of Life by Rebbe A.J. Gindi. We're looking forward to seeing your presentation. Yasher Koyach.
Thank you, panel, for having us. Nice to meet you. Thank you. My name is A.J. Gindi. I'm probably the underdog in the room. I'm definitely from the minority as the only Sephardi here that I can see. So be nice to me. Thank you. I'm from Renewal. I'm a kidney donor as well, so I know what it's like to be on that side. How many people here know of either a kidney donor or a kidney recipient by raising your hands? Let's go back 10 years ago. How many people knew kidney donors or recipients? Very few. That's the impact of Renewal over the past 10 years. We've done over 1,100 transplants, servicing not only New York, New Jersey, Baltimore, Pennsylvania. We service the world. We get people that need transplants from Mexico, Argentina, Canada, Israel. As a matter of fact, I was once on a Zoom meeting with the NKR, National Kidney Registry. They wanted to know, how do you do it? How does Renewal do what they do? How do you have so many people in your donor base that want to be donors? This is the National Kidney Registry who everybody that needs a kidney in the world, the regular oilam needs a kidney, they go to them. They have over 100,000 people on their list. And I was on a Zoom meeting with them. There were 6 people on the panel. They were introducing themselves. One lady, she takes care of northern Pennsylvania. Next person takes care of southern Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania. One does the fundraising for Pennsylvania. One does the fundraising for Philadelphia. And who are you? I'm A.J. Gindi. I do America, South America, Canada, and Israel. How do you do that? How's it possible? I said, it's very simple. Convert the world to Judaism, you have no problem. That's all you have to do. The Jews are unbelievable for what they will do for another Jew. Renewal has taken this disease that kills people on a daily basis. Let's not play with the words. That's what it does. Kills people on a daily basis, has taken the Jewish world, has put them in a protective bubble, a bubble of protection, a shield, that if, God forbid, chas v'shalom, anybody has this disease, one phone call is all you need to make. And then a lot of tefillah. Make sure you pray. A lot of tefillah you have to do after that. But one phone call, and Renewal will do everything else after that point. Ages from 2 to 86. We broke the world record for recipients, 82, 83, 85, 86. Each one was a world record after the other. And donors from 77 and down. Renewal has changed the world of kidney transplants. I'd like you to take a moment, and I want you to look at the screens, and I want you to meet Yossi.
Hello, my name is Yossi. I am Shui. I love to run and play and watch my school show. I can climb and play and love, and I hope to feel better. I need a new kidney. Please help me know so they can help me.
Wow.
This is one of our children that needs a kidney. I cannot tell you how difficult it is to find a kidney for a child. You don't have a mother walking in with her 3-year-old saying, I heard you need a kidney. Little Moshel is going to give you his. Would you give him a lollipop? What are you going to give him in exchange? It doesn't happen so easily. Now, what goes first? A 3-year-old child or an 80-year-old Zaidi? Who gets a kidney first? And Renewal does not charge anything for its services. Zero. There's no registration fee, no application fee, there's no help us pay for your transplant fee. Zero. We live off donations. From the support of the communities around us, from the people we've been able to help, the people that believe in what we're doing. That's what gets us to the next transplant. We are literally saving lives, one kidney at a time.
Thank you. Once again, we're going to start from Reb Shlome with any questions for AJ.
First of all, phenomenal presentation. Unbelievable, like only a Sephardi can do. Then I'll point out that this is bribe. I don't know what's in
that
there.
Is
Maybe
allowed.
He told me to bring gifts.
It is allowed, yes.
No, great presentation, really. You like hit all the notes. You got the crowd involved, and we all know the work of Renewal. I think, like you pointed out, that everyone knows one or more kidney donors, and it's a beautiful thing. And I like how you brought into the presentation the fact that we're all proud to be Jewish because of this, right? Which is a beautiful factor, feeling good aspect when raising money. I'm just curious. I look on Renewal like a big, gigantic. By the way, what's your role in Renewal?
I'm a community advocate. When somebody needs a kidney, they'll contact me. We'll work through the organization to give them the support that they need to get them to the final game at the end of to make sure they get the transplant.
Wow. They should definitely use you for a fundraiser, I would say. But I look on Renewal like such a big organization, so big. What is the $20,000 going to help you? Like, I would love to hear DotOrg will donate $20,000, and this is going to generate more, and this is going to build something bigger. Like, not taking anything away, looks like a small drop.
It's a great question. We're going to start with 20,000, and then we're going to go around the room, and each one's going to give me 26,000 to sponsor a transplant. That's the way it starts. But what's $20,000 will allow us to do 2,000 swabs. It costs us approximately $100 a swab to swab somebody, send it to the lab, get the results back, and then do a cross match. So $20,000 will allow us to swab 2,000 people. From those 2,000 people, we could probably generate between 300 and 400 transplants over the course of the time. Because they're not going to be able to everybody's not going to match, first of all. And then a lot of people have issues with themselves why they would not qualify to be a kidney donor. Only 30% of the people that want to be an actual kidney donor make it to the end of the game. 70% of them are disqualified for one reason or another. Maybe they have kidney stones in their history, somebody's diabetic, somebody high blood pressure, they're on a lot of medication. Psychologically, they can't go through the testing. So we need to test a lot of people to find donors.
To finish off the pitch, this $20,000 can generate 200-300 kidney donors.
300 kidney donors.
Wow.
2,000 swabs.
That's a pitch.
Yes, that's a pitch.
That's a lot of donors. Zalman.
So first of all, as working for an organization and doing presentations all the time, I'm a little jealous, to tell you the truth. It like really hit my heart. If I wouldn't know of Renewal before this, and I have the money to give you to sponsor it, I would do it. You can start with me for that 26. But we'll get there one day, Me'etz Hashem. What I want to say is like this. When I have time, I go on status, and I see a lot of people posting that today is being a kidney transplant. The idea of other people davening for somebody that it's happening today, and the pictures that people post of a person meeting the donor or vice versa. So I would ask what Shlome asked, which every judge is going to ask, what is $20,000 going to do? I can speak for personally. I have a friend that asked me to swap for him. They didn't actually ended up needing it. But what I could say is that they were, Baruch Hashem, with dialysis, she was okay. But Renewal reached out to her many times, over a year that I know, to make sure she's okay, and if she's feeling any symptoms, if she should be on the list. They never took her off the list, if Chaz v'Shalom, God forbid, she needs it. So congratulations, or kados to you, whatever the best word is. Keep it up. And like I said before, I hope nobody needs Renewal, But for those people that need it, it's an amazing, amazing organization.
Chazak Baruch.
You're right, Chazak Baruch.
Yasher Co-op. Thank you.
Shay.
Again, amazing. I think that one of the biggest things that we're doing in charity, nothing to do with this amazing event today, and the zchut to sponsor, the prizes here today. One of the biggest things that we're doing during the year is that we're doing private campaign for private causes like that for free. We're not taking any money. And you have the whole charity team, doesn't matter here, in Israel, whatever it is, that I think we fundraise, hundreds of millions of dollars up until today for free for families, for different surgeries, not only for kidney or whatever it is, whatever people need, we did almost any other cause for free. So I think nothing to do with the prizes today. If you have a cause like that you need a campaign, feel free to reach out, and you get a free campaign, and it's our zchut to help Am Israel globally, and we are there. So again, congratulations, it's amazing, definitely.
Yes, Shay. Baruch.
So I don't think Shlome said it loud enough. I think this is very progressive, giving out gifts to the judges. It's very impressive. So forget everything else. Forget that's really. Oh. My second question was people were mechaven to, so I'm not going to, again, give you a hard time. Obviously, renewal is well known, and the mission is beautiful and sacred. And the first question that came to mind is, what will $20,000 go towards? And I certainly think that you answered it perfectly. The question I have is the waiting list. Will giving these funds, and certainly you can count me as a future donor of renewal. I mean, I've given Baruch Hashem. I'm not going to match 10, Eli, but we'll go halfway. I'm going to give $5,000 towards renewal.
Oh!
Because it's, we also have an organization, but when you see an impact like that, those statistics are staggering, that one drive can bring that many potential donors. So, Yasher Koach, and Eli, thank you for spurring that. But the question is, can something be done about, I don't know the exact waiting time now, because as amazing as it is, I'm sure people who are waiting, every day is painful. Is there something that can be done with the money that renewal raises to speed up the process? It could be it's very fast now, but to make it even faster, because then I think I'll get you a few more donors even, to make sure that people don't have to wait even an extra day to hear back whether or not they'll be able to be helped.
So that's an excellent question. Currently, our waiting time, if someone has no other ailments, if they don't have heart ailment or anything else, they just need the kidney. It's under a year. Our goal is to get that to 6 months, and our goal is to get to every patient before they even get to dialysis. There's no reason why they should have to suffer through dialysis to come to see us. If we can get them before, because dialysis is a game changer. It's not life being tied to a machine 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, from 7 o'clock in the morning. This little child goes to Philadelphia 3 times a week. Oh, no, he's doing home dialysis. We have another child that goes from Williamsburg to Philadelphia 3 days a week. They got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning to drive there. It's impossible. It's a game changer. So our goal is to get everybody before they get onto dialysis. Now, there's I have an extra minute?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. There's a very famous ball player. His name is Nate Robinson. He's played for the Knicks, plays for a lot of different people, and he's looking for a kidney. He's 39 years old. He's begging across the world, somebody please come save my life. I have 2 years left to live. He's got 1 in 1,000 chance to find a kidney. Out of 80,000 people that need a kidney in America, 1 gets it, 999 die. In a renewal, out of every 1,000 people that need a kidney, 1,000 people are going to get kidneys. It's a big thing to say. Every person that comes into our door, providing that that's the only thing they have a problem with, we're going to find them a kidney.
Tell Dave to be McGuire immediately.
Eli.
AJ, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
AJ called me. First time we're meeting, right, AJ?
First time we met.
AJ called me, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and said, we have a really rare situation where there's a donor in America and there's a recipient in Israel. Could Hatzalah Air partner with Renewal? And we said, because there was a challenge, the kidney from when it leaves the body until it gets there, I think was about a 16-hour window. And we're in the process of working together I'll recognize Bruchy Gross and Abigail Eisenstadt here in the room working together. Two of the superstars with Renewal. And we're going to partner with you. And Mitzvah Shem, we're going to save a life together. But when I think of Renewal, I think of a friend of mine, Dr. Eli Bennett, a Hatzalah member in Queens, who so proudly gave a kidney. And then when I think deeper into Renewal, I think of my 12th grade Rebbe, of Yaakov Bergman, who's my Rav. And I was on a Hatzalah call. I have Rishus to say this. And he looked like he was dying. And he was falling apart. And he had horrible kidney failure. And I just saw him. I went to sell my chametz Erev Pesach, and I went to his house, and I was in shock. And I was in shock because he looked great. He looked like a young man. And he smiled as he told me about his kidney that he got thanks to Renewal. So I'm going to stand up and ask everybody to stand up and give a round of applause to AJ, to Renewal, but most impressively, give a round of applause to everyone in this room who does chesed for Klal Yisrael. Thank you.
Thank you so much, AJ. For our final contestant, Yasher Koyach, Ben Porat Yosef. That's for you. All right, for our final contestant, we have Rabbi Levi Stein, all the way from Friendship Circle in Wisconsin. For our final, last but certainly not least, Acharon Chaviv presentation. Take it away, Levi. Oh,
Good.
also has
Give the
bribes.
gifts. Go ahead.
More bribes. Take it away.
Yes. Can you put the slides? The Friendship Circle was founded after a young adult, his name was Daniel Sobel, died by suicide, and his family wanted to start an organization to give people an alternate opportunity, a different door to go into other than suicide, and that's friendship. Friendship Circle provides programming both for people with disabilities and those struggling with mental health to have a friend, to be included in a community. I want to share a little story that happened about 6 months ago. I met with an executive from US Bank, and I asked her, I said, how many branches do you have? And she said 2,500 branches. I said, do you have heart defibrillators in those branches? And especially from Hatzalah, you know how important that is. And she said, yes, actually about 10 years ago, they invested over $5 million to put AED machines in all of their branches. I asked, did it ever save a life? And she said, actually, yes, it did. A couple of years ago, there was an incident, and the AED machine saved a life. I said, was it worth it? And we both looked at each other and said, of course it was worth it. Who wouldn't? You can't put a dollar amount on a life. We would spend as much as we can. Safe Talk is a program of friendships, is a program by Living Works that Friendship Circle presents. It's a 4-hour suicide prevention training that will save a life, statistically speaking, within 90 days of every training given to 30 people. It literally saves lives. I've witnessed it dozens and dozens of times. Our mission at Friendship Circle is not just to do suicide prevention work. We do lots of different programming. Everything from Friends at Home, where teen volunteers visit the homes of kids with disabilities. We do social recreational programming. Everything from Taekwondo to bowling to Jewish holiday programs to Torah and Tea. We do lots of different programs there. What we're most known for, though, is our employment training program for adults with disabilities. Currently, more than 80% of people with disabilities are unemployed or underemployed, and we wanted to change that. So we opened a coffee shop, a bakery, and an art studio to train and employ people with disabilities. Our mental health side, which we call You Matter, does both suicide prevention training programs, teen mental health programs, mom support groups, and case management for those struggling with mental health, to be able to have a community to be a part of. We are fighting a war in isolation, and we want to give everyone a chance to be a part of a community. JT called us, this is exactly 4 years ago, on Erev Shavuos. He called us 10 minutes before candlelighting, and I answered my phone, and he said, I'm sitting in a chair. I just attempted suicide. I'm full of blood, and I'm still alive. And he's like, can you help me? And I was like shocked, what happened? And he said he's in a group home. This is at the beginning of COVID, right? 4 years ago, Shavuos. Remember that? The first time we went back to Shul was Shavuos in some places. And he's like, I'm locked up in my group home, and not only am I locked out from society, I can't even end my own life. And what do I do? So, for the moment, in Milwaukee, we don't have Hatzalah, at least not yet. So I called 911. We had to get him to hospital to take care of his medical needs right then and there. But afterwards, we brought him into our employment training program. He trained for 6 months and now has a job and a community. And he says COVID is the best thing that happened to him. Now he has a friends, he has a community, and he has everything. So I want to share just a short little video clip about someone else that was impacted by our You Matter and our Safe Talk Suicide Prevention.
I wanted to kill myself for years because of abuse, because of mental health issues, and so much more. You Matter and Safe Talk not only gave me a purpose, but also a space to help and influence others to be a friend to everyone else. The Honorable Spark Tank judges, I ask you to help me and help the Friendship Circle help save lives.
So what will $20,000 do, you ask? Well, first of all, we'll do a charity campaign, and that $20,000 will double, which will equal $40,000. This would sponsor an additional 36 Safe Talk trainings over the following year. A training looks like you see in the picture. 36 trainings will train 900 students, which will impact 30 life-saving interventions and have an additional effect on another 10,800 people if every person uses the training to impact an additional 12 people in some capacity. So, please give me the opportunity to share this life-saving training with as many people as possible in our community.
Thank you, Levi. We'll start with Eli.
So there's no question about it that teaching CPR and teaching AED use would be incredibly life-saving. And there's no question that the money would impact you. The question is, could you not do the exact same thing by charging for your service as well and be able to save lives by charging for it?
That's what I do now, and the barrier is tremendous, and I don't want to do that anymore, at least not where there isn't money. The Jewish schools in our community and beyond and the community members are not coming often because of the cost. We charge $35 a person. This money will waive that fee or subsidize that fee to bring it to more people.
Gotcha. And I know there's a lot of grants that are out there for these types of things. Have you looked into seeing if there are any grants available so that the money could be saved for other organizations and that you could get government grants for the education for CPR?
Yes, there are lots of grants out there for these types of things, and we are applying for them day in and day out. We've gotten some small grants. We're working on much larger grants, but I don't want to wait for those grants to come through. People are dying every single day. Today, 50,000 people a year die in the US by suicide. It's the second leading cause of death for young people, ages 13 to 24. And if it takes me a year to find those grants, we could save many more lives in the process.
Excellent. So you're effectively an honorary Hatzalah member in Wisconsin. Thank you for your service.
Baruch. So I don't think any of us, I certainly don't know the exact numbers in Wisconsin. You probably have a much better handle. But I applaud you tremendously because I think that one thing that wasn't addressed here so much today was the mental health struggle. We're living in a crazy world, and people as young as 5 to as old as 85 are struggling mightily. And I see it between being part of Achiezer's crisis response, being part of Hatzalah. Daniel Golpet, who's part of our staff, can testify. We have probably 5 nights a week during the urgent hours a mental health crisis. So the fact that you're doing that kind of work specifically in Wisconsin, which is an out-of-market area, so to say, where there's less attention, speaks tremendously to me. I think your presentation was powerful. And I guess my question would have been similar to Ellie's, but I would say that $20,000 certainly will help you, even if it saves one life. I think everybody here will agree that your efforts will have been worth it, but certainly I would think it's an achrayus for you to capitalize on every single possible grant out there, because it sounds like you have tremendous impact out there. So it's not a question, and I'm not giving you orders. You don't work for me. A donation will be forthcoming, Emir Hashem, and I'm sure from all of us, but certainly I think that you have to do everything you can to maximize those funds, because it sounds like a sorely needed area everywhere we know, but certainly in Wisconsin. So, kol hakavod, really beautiful work.
Thank you. Just to add how much we're working towards that, I'm on the board of the ADRC, which in Wisconsin is the government agency that serves also mental health. So I'm very much embedded in that. I'm also on the board of the Office of Children's Mental Health, which is a state board under the governor, and I'm also a part of NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness. It's the largest non-Jewish nonprofit for mental health. We're trying to bring the Jewish organization to become the leader within the mental health world, and when they're thinking who should we give the grant, I want every agency in our state to know Friendship Circle is right there on top.
Just give them bags, each one of those meetings, all right?
Okay, amazing. First of all, I didn't know that Friendship Circle is dealing with things that I was a little surprised that you decided to present Davka, this type of program, like you working with kids with disabilities and whatever during the year. Why did you decide to present that?
So, thank you. 60% of people with disabilities struggle with a mental illness, and mental illness is a disability. It's also how Friendship Circle started, and I wanted to present a program that is not just life-saving, but where $20,000 will make a huge impact, versus the part of the organization that does programming. I could use donations for all of that, but I have to focus on something.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations, and Hashem should give you a lot of atzlucha in everything you do, and hoping that other communities can see what you do and do it on their own. Just one question, because I think everybody asked the right questions already, and I have to leave a question for the last judge. You do fundraising. What do you do for fundraising now? I know you're working on grants, and he gave you unofficial command to make sure you get every grant that you can get, which I'm sure you will be working on. And I know you want us to give you that $20,000 so you can improve. What are you doing now to cover your budget and to save as many lives as you can?
Well, I'm here today. I flew in today from Milwaukee, so this is an important piece. We also had a charity campaign in January, but our main fundraiser is a Bike for Friendship happening on August 4th. If anyone wants to bike 100 miles, please come to Milwaukee.
Okay, thank you, and atzlocha.
Yes, so I'll share with whatever the fellow judges asked. And great presentation. I liked how you presented what you'll do with the $20,000. I'm a little bit confused. You do a lot of services, but I'm trying to understand. On the picture, I see a Down syndrome kid, right? Then you were discussing about suicide. Like, isn't the mission all over the place?
The mission of Friendship Circle is all about friendship. It's about including people who
So
are...
that can mean opening up an Atzola in Milwaukee one day? No, I'm trying to draw a line. I think disabilities and suicide.
Yeah, it's a good question. Suicide prevention is how the whole organization was founded, when Daniel Sobel died by suicide. So it was always a critical part of the organization's mission. What happened was people with disabilities, this is in the late 90s, were also isolated. And they reached out to Friendship Circle at the time and said, what about our kids? Our kids are also isolated. So the service to people with disabilities really...
So is the needs is endless. Like, where do you draw the line? I guess the point that I want to make is, I see this as two separate organizations. And if you ask me from a branding perspective and a marketing perspective, there should be an organization and a name and a website for because the whole suicide thing, I think there's a lot of awareness in the community about it right now, and people are coming around to see that this is a real issue. And I love the program that you do with, I don't know why I never heard of it. I think like you got to come to New York, and I happen to be like, Ellie asked you why you don't charge, and you answered that this $35, if somebody doesn't want to give you $35, he does not have to come to the program. I think it's a joke. I think it's going to be a sense of commitment for anyone to come in. I think you got to go national with this. You know, how long is the course? 2 hours, you said?
4 hours.
4 hours. 4 hours can save lives. So I feel like this is something so big, it has to have their own name, own fundraising effort, their own initiative. I see this as being huge on its own.
Absolutely. I've already been to 6 or 7 states doing the training for other Chabad institutions around, in Charlotte, in Colorado, in Chicago, and obviously all over Wisconsin. So I'd be happy to bring it to New York as well, or at least coordinate it. Just to review how it started with Safe Talk specifically, we didn't used to do this. Friendship Circle was exactly as you all kind of heard and knew about it. What happened after COVID, we had over 100 teen volunteers that were volunteering for kids with disabilities for these kids. And these teens after COVID were struggling with suicide. And when we had one suicide attempt, like the story I said, and another suicide attempt, and another suicide attempt, I'm like, what's going on? This is happening all around us. We have to do something. And that's when we got into You Matter, which now other friendship circles are also starting to
I think we all
adapt.
respect you for that. I feel like this has become like an organization on its own. And, you know, the disabilities part is already abused. I think for fundraising, since we're by a fundraising seminar, if you focus and zero in on this aspect and create a whole brand around this need, I feel there can unlimited potential.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Levi. So here's what we're going to do now. If everybody could take out their phones, go to charity.com/vote and make a donation. No, I'm kidding. And vote. Charity.com/vote. You put in your name. You want to rate all the presentations you saw, 1 to 5. And the collective vote is going to be a vote. Meanwhile, the judges, you guys also have papers if you could vote. If you haven't yet, if you did, if you could give me the results, and Rivka here is going to tally them up. So thank you. So once again, charity.com/vote. Not working? What's that? 5 is the best. Charity.com/vote. Works for me. charity.com/vote. Menachem, I will send you a text. Oh,
Chevra, the cocktail hour started already. Let's go.
Okay. Five is the highest. You guys filled it out? Judges, if you filled it out, you can give it to me. All right, the results are coming in, so something's working. Charity.com/vote. Vote, V-O-T-E. Charity.com/vote. Thank you, Shay. Zalman, you gave me? You gave me paper? Okay. We're going to ask the judges if they want to say any closing remarks as the results are being tallied. I'm going to start off with Shay. Oh, what's that? Okay, we'll start with Eli. Shay says we start with Eli. Any closing remarks before all the results are in? There's 1 more minute to fill in all the results.
You know, today people ask me what the worst day in recent history is. And everybody answers, of course, it's October 7th. I say, no. The worst day in recent history was not October 7th. It was October 6th. On October 6th, Jews were so fragmented. They hated each other. They fought with each other. People wouldn't do a favor, wouldn't do a chesed, wouldn't do anything for each other. You had to be exactly like me for me to respect you. And you had to have my beliefs for me to be able to believe in you and have you believe in me. The worst day was October 6th. October 7th, during crisis, everybody unfortunately uses that as an opportunity to get together. When I listen to these 4 presenters, and I look around the room, and I look at my colleagues to my right, it is so incredibly impressive how we, as Klal Yisrael, are just a nation of Mika Amcha Yisrael. Thank you for being part of this most amazing nation.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Baruch for parting words. Before we do, there's 30 seconds left to vote. Charity.com/vote.
So I just want to say, I don't know if it's true or not true, but it doesn't matter. I guess you'll hear why. There's a saying that there was an older gentleman in Pennsylvania that he used to keep in his glove compartment a set of flares, you know, a spare tire in the trunk, and he also kept a yarmulke and a pair of tzitzis. Why does he do that? Because in the days before cell phones, your car broke down, it became a whole day event. But he knew that if he wanted to be taken care of faster than any AAA anywhere in the world, he puts on the yarmulke, he puts a pair of tzitzis flying in the wind, and before you knew it, people are pulling over ready to help. And I think that that's what encapsulates today, is that we just look for 1,000 different ways for Jews to take care of each other. And you can see it in my face, it never gets old. It inspires me every single day. And I do want to give a shout out to our host, to charity. Yes, we all have to pay the bills and come up with creative ways to make businesses. But the amount of tzedakah that has come out of their organization, the amount of giving that has been inspired across the world are big zechusim that we are all, I'm sure, very, very envious of. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Another 10 seconds left to vote. Shloime, some parting words. All right, Reb Zalman, some parting words.
I want to say one thing. I'm in the fundraising all day. I know Shloime because we use him for marketing sometimes. I know charity because I use charity. Eli actually met by events, so thank you. First time I met Boruch Ber, you do great work. What I want to say is, I don't know if the audience are everybody from an organization or just donors. I go to people personally and I ask them for a lot of money. That's my job, to take as much money as I can get out of that person, to convince that person to give to my organization. What's very important for people to know, if you're from an organization, your presentation is the most important thing. That saying that you say you don't have a second chance to make a first impression, it is true. Again, Klal Yisrael is good people, they'll give you another chance. But if you hit it out of the park the first time, they'll be your donor for life. So if you're an organization, spend some time on marketing, spend some time consulting with people that know what they're doing, and just do it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, before we announce the winners, our CEO, Shay Chervinsky.
Okay, so I want to, first of all, thank you all for coming in, really. It was an amazing day. And I want you definitely to clap and give a shout out to our amazing team of charity that are helping us here today. Everybody, I'm not going to mention names, but, you know, we couldn't do it without each and every one of you. And I want to thank you in front of everybody. You're doing an amazing job during the year. And it's a big zchut of ours to changing the world of tzedakah. I don't think that, You know, somebody was quoting me before I came in, as I was walking in here now, and he told me, you know, it's amazing. I don't think that, you know, we would give so much tzedakah without of you guys. So it's a big zchut of us, and we want to continue doing good things, definitely, and changing the world together with all of you. And thank you very much for coming in. Thank you.
I would like to add one thing without permission. Statistically wise, talking about charity, I want to give a compliment to charity. I remember in 2019, people said that charity is over. It's enough, this crowdfunding, everybody, every second day. Enough is enough, it's dying out. Okay, fine. If you go statistically in 2019, at a lot, 2020, when COVID hit, it went crazy. Now, Baruch Hashem, COVID is over. Everybody's still using charity, and I'm sure if everybody goes on status, there's for sure probably 50, 60 charities today. Not only charity platform, but in general. What charity did for organizations, they made it very easy for people to reach everybody. In the olden days, you had to call them. Your son went with a raffle book, sold them a product. Today, you're selling them one thing, an opportunity to give to an organization. So charity, keep up the good work. And all the donors, keep donating.
So the results are in, and just to clarify about, again, the voting, it was a tally of all the points the judges gave per section, as well as the average of the audience. So a total of 6 judges. But I guess we'll go with 4th place, just because that is we'll start with the last place, and it was very tight. But at 4th place, which already won tonight from I believe from the judges, one of the judges, is an amazing organization which deserves a round of applause, and that is Favor.it. Round of applause. In 3rd place, which will get a free campaign, that is the prize, is also an amazing organization, Helping Hands Co-op Florida. So for second and first place, we'll just do first place first, because obviously it won't be a surprise once we say 2nd place. That came in with the most points, none other than the Friendship Circle of Wisconsin. And in 2nd place, also an amazing organization, Renewal of Life. Please come up for the winners. Please come up. We have a little certificate. We're going to take a quick photo, and that will be all. So please do come up. And obviously about the prize, you'll find out. Now, there's one last thing. There is a raffle. The raffle is going to take place, and not in front of everyone, and it's going to be announced tomorrow. The raffle is going to be for $5,000 for those that submitted and applied for the Spark Tank and did not make it. If you did not win a prize, you could be part of the Spark Tank as well. Only those that actually were here throughout the day will be eligible. If you've signed up but you didn't come, you are not eligible. So for the winners, please come up.